Good morning. Let me today discuss consumer surplus. What is the concept of consumer surplus? How the consumer surplus is measured? What are the application or importance? And what are the limitations of the concept? The concept of consumer surplus was given by Sir Depute in 1844 and introduced in economics by Dr. Marshall, the welfare economist, in 1890. Meaning and definition of the concept. Consumer surplus is simply the measure of economic benefits from the goods and services or the facilities available to the consumers. It is defined as the willingness to pay minus actual market price. So, consumer surplus is simply the willingness to pay minus the market price. For example, in emergency, the patient may be ready to pay more for the treatment than the actual market price. So, if the patient is ready to pay 5 lakh rupees 5 lakhs for the treatment, the market price may be just 1 lakh. So, the consumer surplus here will be 4 lakh rupees. Assumptions, conditions under which the concept works. The concept is based on the cardinal utility approach. As we know, the cardinal utility approach, where the utility, the satisfaction is measured in terms of the quantity, where it can be quantified, it can be expressed in numbers, it can be added, separated, multiplied. So, yes, quantity is there. How much satisfaction is there? It is the concept of the cardinal utility. So, the condition one is utility is cardinal in nature, that is measurable, quantifiable. Number two assumption is marginal utility is diminishing as the quantity of the good increases with the consumer. The additional satisfaction, the marginal satisfaction goes on diminishing. So this is second condition for the concept. Third condition is consumer is rational, that is he is the best judge of his or her choices. So she can make choices, decision maker. Marginal utility of money will remain constant, it will not change. This is the fourth condition. That we explain the concept of the consumer surplus. So the willingness minus actual market price, willingness what the consumer expects, that is total utility, total benefit, and the market price, the marginal utility. So here the difference between the value in exchange and value in use or the water diamond paradox is solved, as why water, which is very essential for the sustenance of life, has zero price, whereas the diamond, which has no importance at all, its price is very high. So the things whose marginal utility is very high are priced heavily, and where the marginal utility is zero or very little, they are priced nil. So let me calculate the concept of consumer surplus. Suppose the consumer was ready to pay rupees 10,000 for a particular brand of mobile, but in the market actually he or she gets that mobile in just rupees 7,000. So the surplus here is rupees 3,000, because 10,000 minus 7,000, 10,000 was willingness to pay, 7,000 was the actual market price. So consumer surplus is 3,000. In the table, we can explain it with the help of table. In the table, the consumer is purchasing steel bottles, water bottles. The price of the bottle in the market is per unit 500, and the willingness to pay is reflected as with the help of marginal utility, because total marginal utility for all the units will be total utility, so that is willingness. So marginal utility goes on falling. So for the first unit 900 and so on, for the additional units it goes at 800, 700, 600, 500. The actual market price is 500 and the consumer surplus is calculated as the willingness minus the actual market price. So first unit, second units, consumer surplus is like 400, 300, 200, 100, and as the at the fifth unit it is consumer surplus goes to zero because willingness minus actual market price is just zero. So as per the concept, the rational consumer, the assumption is rational consumer, he will not purchase, he will not go to the such purchases where consumer surplus goes to zero. So here for all 5 units the consumer surplus is rupees 10,000 because willingness is 3500 adding marginal utilities and total price paid is 2500, so consumer surplus is 1000 rupees. So summary of the table is total barter 500, total utility 3500, market price per unit 500, so consumer surplus is the difference between the two, rupees 1000. Diagrammatically, in the diagram we have taken O x-axis and O y-axis, where in the O x-axis we have taken along O x-axis some quantity of pens or maybe bottles or something, some good x, and along O y-axis we have taken total utility, marginal utility. So marginal utility, total utility, that is willingness, and on the other side there is price. So this MD curve is the marginal utility curve, that is diminishing marginal utility curve, and PT reflects the price curve. This is the price. So the consumer was ready to pay in the market for 1 unit of pen up to rupees OM, but the market price is just OP. So actual willingness can be by area OMTN for total units, of for ON units of pens. So but the actual bill is just rupees OPTN. So subtracting the two we get the triangular area as consumer surplus. So let me calculate it. So this is the explanation of the diagram, where we have taken marginal utility curve, price curve, and units of pen along willingness area is OMTN, and the actual bill, that is price into quantity, is OPTN, and subtracting the two we get the consumer surplus area. In the diagram, in the figure we can see here that is MPT. So here it is reflected as area MPT as the consumer surplus. So what is drawn in the diagram has been explained here. So what is the importance of the concept? What are the uses? What are the applications? So number one, it is used in day-to-day life to estimate the benefits, like in case of newspapers, in case of public services, public facilities like roads, bridges, parks, where we pay less but we enjoy benefits from these services more. In case of newspapers, we pay just 5 to 10 rupees, but the news provided, the uses of newspapers are many, so we enjoy more benefits. So consumer surplus is applicable here. Yes, we can understand the difference between the value in use, and that is total utility, and value in exchange, that is marginal utility. So marginal utility is the price in the market, and total utility, total, is the value in use. So where value in use and value in use is high, as in case of water, so price is zero, marginal utility there is zero. But in case of diamond, marginal utility is high because of social recognition. Otherwise, diamond has no other use. So yes, the concept helps to differentiate the value in exchange and value in use. So in case of emergency situation, the concept is applicable, has reality. For example, in case of illness, accident, yes, there is more willingness price is higher as compared to the market price. So it helps the government to frame the policy on tax and expenditure. Yes, these decisions are also influenced on the basis of the consumer surplus because rich have low marginal utility for money as compared to the poor. For the poor person, rupees 500 note is very important as compared to for the rich, as compared to the rich consumer. So yes, consumer surplus is also the signal for the producers to decide on the pricing policy. So they will charge more where the consumer surplus is higher. Drawbacks, limitations of the concept. Yes, the concepts has some limitations because it is based on cardinal utility analysis. So cardinal utility concept has been rejected and is based on flawed assumptions. Again, the concept is difficult to measure because willingness is difficult to estimate in all cases. For example, in case of a patient dying, what will he be ready to pay? It's difficult to express in numbers. So it's an imaginary concept, not a real concept. It just goes in imagination according to the experts, the economists. So based on cardinal utility assumptions, which are not the reality, and differs from individual to individual. It varies from the consumer to consumer because consumers have different tastes, preferences, demands. So consumer surplus for the same good, for the same quantity may come different measures come. Marginality of money cannot remain constant, so it is difficult to measure the concept. Substitute goods affect the consumer behavior because if only one good is there, it may be having more marginal utility, and thus accordingly consumer surplus will vary. So the concept again becomes confusion here in case of substitute goods. Conclusion. Yet despite criticism, the concept has relevance in the following cases such as public goods, social goods, public facilities, newspapers, necessities, emergency cases, emergency treatment situations, and especially the international trade where the consumers enjoy the benefits by buying the cheap goods from rest of the world rather than purchasing the home produced goods which may be dear or costly. So this is how to explain the concept of consumer benefit, the consumer surplus, how the consumer benefits from the different services, and how does the concept works. So thank you. Here we end the discussion. Thank you all.